Right, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks on how to play defense in Madden 20. So firstly, I'm going to talk about shading down. So this will work on cover 3 and cover 4. I repeat, do not do this on cover 2 because you will get beaten deep, just no matter what, because there is going to be gaps. You can't stop that, you'll just get beaten deep. So you can do this in cover 3 and cover 4. So if I go on now to a play and I do, so if I go on to play now and I do a flat with my tight end, so and then I now go into a nickel and I go cover 3 sky. You'll see in cover 3 now you will have the deep corner, you have the deep safety. You'll have 2 corners on the side and you have 2 slot corners in the slot. They're on the flats there, so they're going to be covering them, but they're covering the curl flat, so basically it'll stop a curl, but no flat. If you throw the flat, it's going to get to the outside. So what you want to do is you want to go into your secondary and you want to shade down on your secondary. So now, if you look at that, they're now on hard flats. So basically you can't get a flat down, you can't get a flat through. So now, if I play, you'll see, no run after catch and he knocked it down. Now, if we leave cover 3 as it is, so like you'll see now, they're still on the curl flats. If we play it now, Benjamin Watson's open. He got about 3 yards. Now I threw it a bit late, so it was a bit odd. So I'll show you it again. Benjamin Watson, he got about 5 yards there. So you don't want to give the small plays, because those small plays become big when you're giving up yardage. So, like I said before, what you want to do is you want to go into your pre-play. You want to go secondary, which is Y on Xbox and triangle on PlayStation, and you want to put the right stick down to go to underneath, which will now show you they're on a hard flat. So again, if I play Benjamin Watson, 1 yard, no run after catch, and you may even get a chance on a pick. So I also want to show you what else this can stop. If I put Benjamin Watson on now a flat, so now he's going outside. Now you notice people want to throw quick flats online, which do work. If you're not on the underneath, that can get you 5-6 yards on every play, and you can keep doing that until someone stops you. So what you want to do now, same thing, you want to go into Y triangle on Xbox, Y and Xbox triangle on PlayStation. You want to shade down defense underneath. So now defense has got them hard flats there. We'll go Benjamin Watson, nothing. That corner is going to stay with him the whole time. He's not going to let him through. So all the deep routes are covered. If I show you again, I won't do anything. I won't throw to Watson, but all the deep routes are covered. So you see, if I try and throw to Edelman, broken up, he nearly caught that. So, yep. And then you've also got Dorset, who shouldn't get open because the linebackers are there. Now that brings me on to something in a bit. He will be open unless you're using your linebackers, but I'll get onto that in a bit because we're still on coverage. So next thing I want to talk about is your cover 4. Now if I go on to choosing a new play, so next thing I want to go on to is cover 4. So if I go into a random play here, switch fork, now I just want to say, you'll see plays like, let me just find it now, in a 3-4 formation. Where's the cover 4? Right, cover 4 quarters, unless you know how to play these really well, you don't want to use these because those 2 corners on the side are going to man up. So if you're coming up against a fast receiver like Tyreek Hill or someone, they are going to burn you down the side. And because those deep safeties are in the middle and they're not moving over to the side, you're going to get burned straight, one play touchdown. So you're looking for a cover 4 that looks like drop. So a cover 4 drop you want to play, because if you notice now, if I try and make the play, you don't really need to make any adjustments other than obviously you want to shade underneath, because now you've got them under the hard flats, you've got the middle of field covered. Basically, if you play this correctly and you use a linebacker, nothing is going to get open. So if I show the play out of my play at the moment, if I try and play to Benjamin Watson, it's you get yards, but it covers other stuff as well. But as I said before, if you're using a linebacker, it won't get open. So also what I want to show you is if I send Sanu deep, you also want to, I forgot something, you want to also want to press. So you'll now want to press, because you want to hold. If I send Dorset on a deep route, you want their quarterback to hold the ball for as long as you can, because the pass rush is pretty good. Although you've only got 3 rushes, it will get there. So if I now see they're dropping, they're not going to go anywhere. I have no one open. If I try and throw that deep, corner's there, broken up. See, nothing's going to get open apart from the tight ends route. So if you see Benjamin Watson's route, he will get open, but you can stop that from using a linebacker, which is what's saying, which brings me on to my next point. Do not use a defensive line. I know I'm using it now because I'm trying to multitask by using 2 controllers, but do not use the D-line, because as you've seen, if you use your D-line, you can't get any pressure, and every time a player is open, and look, I'm getting yards. So if you see now, but now, you see, if I use your linebacker, I can cover this. Nothing's getting open, I can move over there, and the play's over, you get a sack. So next thing I want to talk about now is you want to go on to choosing a new play, and I want to go cover 2. So cover 2, it's not the best this year, but you can still run it. If I go here now, if I go that, and then I pick a cover 2 in the nickel formation, Tampa 2. So Tampa 2 is probably your best bet at picking a play, because if you see now, there's on the cloud flat. So what you want to do to your D now is you want to go secondary, and then you want to choose the right stick, and you want to go outside, because you see a lot of people doing this when they see cover 2. They'll see people like Julian Edelman. If I switch him up now, Julian Edelman doing a out. So if you see that now, Julian Edelman's going to go out. So what you want to do now is you want to put your defense on underneath, then you want to go also, then you also want to go outside at the same time. So now you're on the hard flat instead of a curl flat. Then if say Edelman was on an out, he's not going to get open, see? Corner's there. Now I don't know how Edelman caught that, but most of the time the corner is going to be there. So if we do that again, if we go D underneath, D outside. Now you've got to remember, you've got to put it on underneath as well, because if you just put it on outside, he's going to go deep outside, which won't work, and Edelman will get the free 10 yards. So if now we put Edelman on the out again, Brady takes the snap, nothing there. Now you can get beat by this because it's cover 2 and it's Madden. Madden will beat you sometimes, but the only thing that is bad about this is if I put Sanu on a streak now, the cloud flats aren't good this year, so I can throw to Sanu And if that wasn't a good safety, and I wasn't playing play action, that could have been a free. Hold on, if I put Michelle on a pass block, Sanu's there. If I get Sanu the ball quickly, that's a free 20 yards, 21 yards. So I wouldn't abuse the cover 2. Don't use it all the time, but it is a good play to stop the outs. I would run this on a 3rd or a 4th down. So now I'm gonna talk about man. So I'd say man is the best coverage that you can run this year. It's better than zone. So I'm just gonna play a full verts or something to do with verts, 4 verts. And then if I do a dime because we've got 3 receivers in the game, and cover 2 man, here we go. So you'll notice you're in a press. So you'll think that's bad, but it really isn't, because unless they've got a really fast receiver, which the Patriots don't, apart from Dorset, but if you're worried about the fast receiver, all you have to do is you want to use your deep safety on that side. Tom Brady will take the snap. I can just stay with him. Tom Brady has no one open. You can't go to anyone because there's no one open. The only one that will really be a problem for you is Tyreek Hill. You don't want to do this against a receiver that is more than about 3-4 speed quicker than your corner or safety, depending on who you got on him. So that's the only thing I'd say about cover 2. Cover 2 is very good though. There's a few routes that can beat it very easily, like slant, but if you want to disguise this, you can go and I'm on that one. If you want to disguise this, you can go on secondary, then you can do baseline, which is the left trigger. So now that could be a cover 4. You could be on a cover 4 there, because they could believe that he is going out for the curl flat, same as him, he's going out for the curl flat, and they're just 4 deep, playing deep. No, unless it's a very experienced player, they don't know that you're doing that. So that's even better if you can do that. But the only problem with that is if they're on a slant, then that's going to be awful for you. As you can see there, no one's getting through. So the only problem with cover 2 is stuff like quick switches in. If you're not on a press, quick switches in play, like now, I'll show you. If I put Jules on a slant. See, it holds it up though, so you can't do anything. But if you drop and baseline with your cover 2, for whatever reason, so if I baseline now with my cover 2, Julian Edelman will get open, because if you see now, I forgot to put him on a slant, but if you see now, if I baseline and then I put Julian Edelman on a slant, take the snap, he's open, wide open, and he could even go for a touchdown. So what I'm saying is, unless you want to take that risk, cover 2 man, make sure you press unless you're against Tyreek Hill. So moving on from coverage now, I'm gonna show you how to play coverage. Now, you never want to play as the D-line, because if you're playing as a D-line, a player can get free from the other team, and you don't want that. So if I do this, and then say we go cover 3. Now, cover 3 sky. Like I said before, what you want to do, not forgetting, you want to shade your defense to a hard flat. Now, you do not want to be doing this, and for the simple reason, look what I can do when I'm on offense. I work out my reads. I'm like, if I can get Dorset open in between the gap of those linebackers, or Edelman would even be better, because Edelman's going deeper and it'll go straight over their heads. You don't want that. So if you put White, give you some time in the pocket, you call Dorset over, and either Dorset or Edelman, if you read, is going to be open. Wide open, Edelman. See, that's what I mean. So you don't want to be using your D-line at any point in the game. So if you go underneath again, so you stop the flats. Now also I want to show you something. If someone's seeing you are playing cover 3 all the time, they're going to know how to beat you. If you keep using the linebacker, they can send someone on like a curl or something, because they're going to know that you keep playing a hard flat like that. So they can send like Edelman or Dorset on a curl, and then nothing can be stopping it. So what you want to do is, again, I've showed you this, you want to baseline your defense. There's nothing wrong with baselining your cover 3 defense. There's nothing wrong with it, because it doesn't cause any problems by baselining, because you're not in man, so no one's going to get open. So as long as you use your linebacker, nothing is open. See? I left circle there, but Tom Brady can't make the read. So if I do this again, underneath, then also you baseline, nothing's going to be open. So take the snap. If Brady wants to take the snap. And then I can cover over there. See, the only problem would be triangle, but by that time, you only want to do this really if you've got an elite pass rusher. So like the Saints having Cam Jordan, or you might have, I don't know, Chris Jones, defensive tackle, or Geno Atkins or something. So if you have them, then they're going to get to the quarterback really quickly. So that's all I have to say about coverage. Let's move on to now showing you how to stop the run. So you're typically going to see someone do, I'm sure somebody does this to you all the time, a stretch. So I would recommend not blitzing if you see someone coming out in this formation. I know they could be doing a dive up the middle, but someone will very rarely do a dive up the middle in this formation. They'll usually do it in set 1 or set 2. You don't want to blitz. You want to, I would come out with how many receivers are on the field, which is 2. So I'm going to come out in a 3-4, and what I'm going to do is I am going to come out in a Tampa 2, because you're covering the outside. So what you want to do is you want to go, so if you look over here, you've got all that stuff. You want to do defensive line, which is the left one, and then you want to pinch your defensive line. So they're all coming into the middle. Now, you all want to do with your linebackers is you want to spread, and then also with your linebackers, you want to blitz all. So blitz all your linebackers. So it should look like that now. Stop this run, which everyone runs 2-3 times if you're playing online in a game. Someone's going to run it to you 2-3 times a game, maybe even more if they're trigger happy with it. But what you want to do is you want to do left on D-pad, and you want to, this is your D-line, you want to pinch your D-line inside. So if there is an inside, it will stop the dive up the middle, because you have one of your defensive tackles or edges making an arm tackle. Then you want to go right on the D-pad, and you want to spread your linebackers. But if you know this is going to be a run, you also want to blitz all your linebackers, or you can blitz just the outside linebackers, which will be the 2 on the outside. Now what you also want to do is, instead of having a cloud flat, you also want to, you can do this all in 5 seconds. I'm just taking it really slow. I can do this in 5 seconds easy, so I reckon you can as well. If you go in secondary, you want to go underneath. Simple as. So now you're in a hard flat. If you now run the play, it might spring on you, but that's just because they've got good blocks. But if you do that correctly, the run will be stopped. So if you now go, if we do that again, but quickly, so I'll show you how quickly I can do it. You can do that. Then that. then that, and that. So that's all done quickly. So now all you want to do, see, it stopped straight away. That time it works. It just depends how good your blockers are. The Patriots blockers have pretty good blockers. So that's how you stop that run, and it's the same for dive. So if I go an audible now on offense to a blast, it's not a dive but it's a blast, same thing. So you see that now, same thing. What you want to do is you want to pinch your D line, and then you want to spread your linebackers. Oh, I've messed that up. You want to spread your linebackers. Then you want to blitz your linebackers like that. So now if you try and run the blast, it gets blown up. So that's how you start. Well, that's how you contain the annoying people that constantly run a like a dive out of the eye or something, or a stretch out of the eye, because you can't stop it doing just sitting at the line. You've got time at the line, you might as well do something. See, the stretch, there's nothing. Unless they really bounce outside, they can't get anything. So, again, I'll do it again. So, you pinch them, you spread them, you also blitz all. Then if I go, it's going to be an outside run. Now the blocker's got everything, but still you kept it to a 4 yards. Now let's compare that to when I don't do anything with the line. I'm not going to do anything with the line. There you go, 9 yards. Or even this will work even better for your line, because it confuses. It will confuse your. You switch the run. Now I got bad animation there for some reason. So Michelle got sucked into the O lineman. But if I also switch it, yards, first down just like that. So what you want to do is to make sure you do that. And when you're on defense doing this, you want to use one of the linebackers, as I said before, just in case it is a pass. Then you can stop the blitz and you can cover the one, because there's only there's one receiver. You can just go and cover that receiver there. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to contain running quarterbacks. I know this is the most annoying thing, which is why I've picked the Ravens. So now if I go onto this and I flip sides, so now I have the Patriots on defense. So as I was saying, what we're going to do next is we're going to contain quarterbacks. So I am going to not do a blitz, but I'm going to go into nickel. I think this is my favourite formation. Cover 2 sink, because I think they're on the hard flats in that. You now want to go out and you want to come in. Say they're in an empty set, all right? So you know they're not running it. Let's just go. Let's just do that, right? So you'll see now on defense, you've got there. So look, you've got the edges. So this is the first thing that you can do. This I would not recommend doing this. This isn't the best one out of the two that I'm going to suggest. But what it is basically we're going to quarterback contain. So if you'll see now, they went from going on a straight blitz. So now Winovich and who have I got? I think that's Van Noy. They're the edges on a contain. So if we run this now, you'll notice they're going to stop him from running. He won't be able to get out and run out of the pocket. But the only problem is with this one is there's nothing stopping him from running up the. There's nothing stopping him from running up the middle. So if we snap the ball now, we use Lamar Jackson. He can just run out the middle. So you're asking me what problem that is. What do I do now? The answer is this is the best one that you can do. You want to go into defensive keys. So this is one that you're going to be asking me a lot about, and you're going to go into individual adjustment. If you want to now, I've got Jamie Collins. He's on a. You don't need 3 people in the zone, so I would mostly use this in cover 2 and blitzes. You quarterback spy Jamie Collins. So what he's basically going to do, if I now use Lamar Jackson, so if we snap the ball, I'm using Lamar Jackson. Look, he's going to follow me, and then if you. Alright, let me start the play up again. So, if I do that again, I might not do it with Jamie Collins. If I do it with Dante Hightower, individual adjustment, which is X or A, or what, A on Xbox, I think. And then you quarterback spy Dante Hightower. Now, if you look at that, there's the 2 zones in the middle. This is basically like this is basically like a blitz, but without a blitz. It's like cover 2 blitz. So, what I show you now is I try and roll out with Lamar Jackson. If I press the right stick down, Dante Hightower's going to come in, and no one's open. I would recommend doing this in a blitz, but no one's open. You try and scramble out. Dante Hightower's going to move out with that quarterback. That's his assignment. He's not going to move away from Lamar Jackson. He's just going to stay with him the whole time, and if Lamar Jackson's holding on to it too much and too long, no one's open and everyone's stopped running their routes, you can click down on the right stick and Dante Hightower will start blitzing him. And there's basically no way the quarterback can avoid it, no matter how fast they are, even if they've got escape artists. There's no way that they are going to avoid it. So if we do it again, I snap the ball, I try and roll outside of Lamar Jackson. Oh look, X is open, but I'm not going to throw it to him. Dante Hightower is going to come over to me. No matter how fast Lamar Jackson is, or Kyler Murray, whoever you've got, he's not going to be able to get through and not going to be able to get open. Right, so something else I want to talk about. We can probably stay in this. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people, they try to throw to one person all the time because he's either blazing speed. So I see a lot of people when I come up against the Chiefs, people just use Tyreek Hill all the time, just send him on a streak. If I'm pressing, they just send Tyreek Hill on a streak and he's gone, touchdown. So I also see a lot of people using it, they want to use their tight end a lot because the middle of the field is really hard to cover. So what you want to do, if you've got one extra linebacker that you don't need in the middle of the field, then so I'm going to use Dante Hightower for this. You see the tight end there, David Andrews. What you want to do is you want to click down on the stick. You want to individual adjustment Dante Hightower, and now you want to man coverage him. It's actually not David Andrews, it's Nick Boyle. You man coverage him to Nick Boyle. So if you see now, he's on man coverage. So if we snap the ball now, I can just stay with him. Stay with him all the time. Who's open? There's square. But as I said before, you can shade your defense under. I'll do that now, in fact. So if I go like this, I'll shade my defense under. I might also give myself a cheeky baseline to stop. So now you think I might be in a cover 4, even though I'm in a cover 2. So they are shading underneath in a hard flat, and then our individual adjustment Hightower to man coverage. So now it should be no one's open. Look, no one on the flat. No one on the flat is covered. No one's open. R1 got open in the end, but by that time, if you've got elite pass rushers, somebody would have got there in the end. As you see, he just decided to do lateral. I don't know why. So that's how to. So maybe. Oh yeah, they got Marquise Brown. Maybe you don't want to go on the flat. So if I do that flat again, outside, no, not outside, what am I talking about? Underneath, baseline. Then if I want to use a Gilmore and Marquise Brown, I go individual adjustment, man coverage. That is Seth Roberts actually. So I'm now manning up Seth Roberts. So if we now make the play, I'll stay with Seth Roberts the whole time. Stay with him. Now, I wouldn't actually be the one using the man coverage. So I wouldn't use the man. basically, because you're leaving, like I said, always use a linebacker. So now what you want to do is, I'm going to show you the next step to this. Obviously, if I baseline underneath, if I don't want him covered, if I want to use McCourty and then I go and individual adjustment, man coverage, Marquise Brown, who is, I think, there, yep, he's there. Okay, so now all you want to do now is you want to move over to a linebacker, and no one is going to get open, as you see. Let's do this now. Apart from square's going to be open, but you've got to make the big play the one that you want to stop. So you want to stop the big play, or do you want to stop the small play? Or you can just baseline and go underneath. You can just do that, as simple as. But I wouldn't, because someone like Lamar Jackson can go, hold on, I see that, give me a cheeky quick 5 yards, and I'm close to a first down. So I would recommend doing that against quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, because they're basically, that's what they're going to do the whole time. So that's all, my friends. I hope this is going to help you. You can use this in games or online. You can use this against the AI, but it's better online. But yeah, I hope this has helped you. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, use this in games. It does work. It doesn't just work in practice. It works everywhere. You can play it against AI. You can play it against people online. So thank you for watching, and see you guys later.